All right. I had to have a little praise moment. This is one of my favorite songs. All right, so let's see. Tonight I'm going to read one of my most popular stories on my TikTok account. And this story is about Esther. It's titled, Before Purpose Makes Noise, It Often Sits in Silence. Esther stood still, then stood up. So I have this story pinned on my page. I believe it might be the first or second video on my page. So if you go to TikTok and type in Andromeda Cook Studio, you'll see my page pop up. And then again, this might be the second story on my page because it's one of the most popular stories that I've written so far. All right, let's get into it. So tonight's story is about courage, divine timing, and being the one to break the silence for generations. There once was a young girl named Hadassah, but most people knew her by her Persian name, Esther. Esther was Jewish, living in a kingdom that didn't honor her people. She was an orphan, raised by her older cousin, Mordecai, who taught her to be wise, respectful, and faithful. She wasn't rich, she wasn't royal, but she had something no one could see, which was a calling that will one day change history. At that time, the king of Persia had just removed his queen and sent out a royal decree. He wanted to find a new wife. So hundreds of young women were gathered and taken to the palace, including Esther. She didn't ask to be there. She didn't chase the crown. But sometimes God places you in rooms you never expected because purpose is waiting on the other side. For a whole year, the women were prepared with beauty treatments, oils, and rituals before they could even see the king. But when Esther's moment came, she didn't try to be flashy. She didn't demand anything extra. She listened to wisdom. She stayed true to herself. And when the king saw her, he chose her. Esther became queen. But this wasn't a fairy tale. It was an assignment. Not long after, a powerful man named Haman rose up in the kingdom. He hated the Jews and secretly convinced the king to sign a law to have all of them killed. The date was set. The attack was coming. And no one, not even the queen, was safe. Esther could have hidden. She could have kept her identity secret. She could have protected herself and stayed silent. But Mordecai sent her a message that changed everything. The message said, if you stay silent, help may come from somewhere else, but you and your family will perish. And who knows, maybe you were made queen for such a time as this. That was the moment. Esther fasted for 3 days. She told her people to do the same. And then she did something no one was allowed to do. She walked into the king's court without being summoned. If he didn't accept her, she could be killed right on the spot. But Esther said something that would echo through generations to come. She said, if I perish, I perish. But she didn't perish. She prevailed. The king extended his scepter. Esther invited him and Haman to a banquet, and with wisdom, patience, and timing, she revealed the truth. That Haman's plan was to destroy her people. The king was shocked. Haman was exposed. And the very trap Haman set for others, he fell into himself. Esther saved her people, not because she had the loudest voice, but because she had the right heart, the right timing, and the courage to speak up. So if you're listening to this, know this. Know that you do not have to come from perfection to be called. You do not have to have it all together to be chosen. And sometimes the very thing you're afraid to speak up about is the exact reason you were born. I quote from Mordecai, "You were made for such a time as this." The end. Yeah, this is a beautiful story. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Tonight I am sitting in front of my television in my living room. I pulled out a few of my art pieces. This is one of my most recent pieces. You can see it. It has resin on it, so the light is going to reflect on it. See? You won't be able to look at it all like too close up, but I put a lot of Bible verses on my original pieces. A lot of my art. A lot of my art has Bible verses etched on it, affirmations, just good stuff. This one says, God's child. It says, love the Lord. Love the Lord with all your heart and all your soul. It says, I am the way, the truth, the life. Purpose driven. Replace hate with love. Yeah, just I have a lot of abstract pieces mixed in with Bible verses and affirmations, just good stuff. So if you would like to check out more of my art, you can go to AndromedaCookStudio.com. You can follow me on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and again, my nails are by Jerica Rose. So you can go to JericaRose.com to purchase these press-on nails. They are saving me so much money and time and everything else. Yes, mom on a budget. Have a beautiful night. Thank you again for being here. And I'm sending you nothing but love. Good night. Lord, if I find favor.